I'm all the way down here in Florida to do those kind of things, then you're totally wrong. We're going to talk about FirstNet, IWCE, radio accessories, radios, or network management, cybersecurity, and so on and so on. With coffee is the only way I can survive this exhibition over here. I just managed to arrange an interview with Craig Albrecht from a company called Orion. They just released a press release last week about the kind of new device, new services that they're offering to the market. What was it all about?
So we're releasing several new features for our platform. The first is the ability to use different hardware PTT phones on our platform, and we're calling that App Talk Plus. So we work on the new...
Yeah, you got all of the stuff on
got one of each up here, yeah.
If there's somebody heavy equipped at this show, it's Craig Albrecht. That's definitely
I know where my stuff's at. So we work on the Kyocera DuraForce Pro with the built-in PTT button. We work on the Sonim XP7 with the built-in PTT button, as well as their other phones, the XP7 and the DuraForce XD. So we're expanding out our portfolio of devices that we support.
Okay, so you have a button.
Yes. So our core product is still the Onyx. It's a secure, over-the-top wearable walkie-talkie that pairs to your smartphone.
Over the top? What means over the top?
So we're agnostic to what the backhaul is. We don't care if it's a carrier with LTE or if it's Wi-Fi. We'll work over it as long as it has an internet connection. Okay, so you said secure. So what do you mean with secure? So we encrypt the audio on the device here, so it's secure end to end. So the only people that can hear what you're speaking into this device are the other people on the other side. We, as the provider nor the carrier, have access to the audio that's coming out of this device.
Are you looking for distributors?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Everywhere around the world?
Everywhere around the world. For our device today, we're focused on North America for selling the Bluetooth device, but our platform running on other phones and other devices will work on any phone, on any carrier, anywhere in the world. Today, we don't have a solution for the off-the-grid or the disconnected environments. You know, that's the 10 to 5% use case. Today, you're on your own there, but mostly, you know, everywhere you go in the world, you have cellular coverage or Wi-Fi coverage.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Cheers. Save the date for next year. IWCE Las Vegas again. 2019 event will be back in Las Vegas after being here for 1 year in Orlando. Now there are two other events being organized through this organization here. That is LT Forum, which is the forum that had already been taking place for, I believe, for the third time, and we got IoT Saving Lives. So that's going to be taking place in Santa Clara, California. So book your dates in March, May and November for these three events. Three events. This booth is at the end of the show, or if you would say at the beginning of the show, because that is exactly where all of the important sessions are going on, and everybody who comes across your booth.
That's true.
You're the lucky one.
I guess
you can just pick and choose, is it?
There you go. We are a command and control incident management application. So we do everything from tracking to whiteboarding, file sharing, text messaging, and pretty much we have the desktop version. And
yes. Okay, you have one app, and that's what you sell around the globe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have clients in Australia, we have the Dutch National Police, Canada.
Wait a minute. The Dutch National Police?
Yeah, Secret Service.
The Dutch Secret Service. I should have known that actually.
It's called DragonForce, and it puts information to help save lives right in the hands of officers on the scene, real time.
Now it's starting to get interesting. Dorel's talking about links. Top-down approach.
Top-down approach. We designed the link system having the cloud computing in mind.
Yep.
Okay, and we developed a very powerful database, a very powerful data platform, which is open, flexible, scalable, and allows any kind of applications on top of it. One of the applications of our data platform is, of course, voice over IP, but that's only an application of the links.
Yeah, because it can be used on a Sonim device or any other
device. You can use it on
right?
a Sonim device, you can use it on any other device, absolutely. You can use it for private calls or group calls.
Okay, but what happens, Dorel, if the 4G network goes down?
Doesn't matter, this goes on 3G, 2G as well.
What happens if the 3G network goes down and the 4G
2G,
network?
3G, 4G. Wi-Fi.
Carrier agnostic.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
So in times of disaster, that's going to be a little bit challenge, right? Because then everything goes down.
If everything goes down, okay, you still have DMO, yeah, direct mode.
Would that be possible with these devices?
Yes, of course. We right now are in process of developing such a device. When maybe you're gonna see it next year.
Okay.
We don't have the device yet developed, so I cannot tell you right now.
But DMO will be one of the features of that new device.
This is correct. This is correct.
Then it starts to get very interesting, because if no network is available, you still need to communicate. That's DMO.
Correct.
Look who I found. This is Hamish Duff. He is the president of the ARCIA. ARCIA? ARCIA. And what is the ARCIA, Hamish? Because some people don't know what it is.
It's the Australian Radio Industry Communications Association.
Can you find the ecosystem here at this show that would help your fire services or your police forces, for example, to effectively communicate?
There are many components of it, but no one's got the entire package yet. That's part of the problem, right? It's as people are really wanting more data communication, so data is really becoming very important for various reasons. But how do you get that data, especially in rural areas? So we have a lot of space where there is no LTE. It just doesn't exist. So how do we get data on radios? What is the appropriate data? All that kind of stuff is going on. So,
and then we have the frequency thing, right?
Yeah, and then you have spectrum. So LTE spectrum is also difficult because it's generally owned by the carriers. So governments are just starting to grapple with how to cope with private LTE requirements. So in Australia, certain groups like mining, they're a very big engine for the Australian economy. They really demanded private LTE spectrum, and they were given LTE spectrum for that reason. But that's all in remote areas, so you're not competing with the city areas. So, we think that Australia will end up with some kind of hybrid LTE model for public safety, but exactly what that looks like and how the ecosystem is going to cope, no one knows. We also want to give the message back to government that LTE, in whatever shape it takes, has to be mission critical. So it has to be able to survive cyclones and storms that we have. So it has to have those attributes of radio that are really important. So while it might take 10 years to change from LTE to change from LMR to LTE has to be good enough so that people are actually getting a proper service. And you're seeing those challenges, happening in the UK. You're seeing it here. You need the whole ecosystem. You need the network, devices, standards, accessories, software. You need a whole community of people, and that's really what ARCIA is engaged in.
We should still have fun, though we say we don't. 'Cause I just wanna get done with you.
There is something you want to tell me, right?
Yeah.
It's something that is very important.
Yeah.
And that's the MCOP. Do I pronounce it right?
Yeah, MCOP.
Okay, so if you haven't heard about MCOP, listen to this very carefully.
Okay, MCOP stands for Mission Critical Open Platform. It's an initiative, a project, with funding from the NIST and from the Department of Commerce from the US in order to define, deploy, and demonstrate and make available a platform to allow any stakeholder like newcomers, public safety agencies, and innovative people to develop and test
mission critical push-to-talk compatible apps in a simple way.
So in other words, if you are a developer of applications for public safety, you should get in touch with
Fidel with Nightbot.
Exactly. And how is that possible?
Yeah, okay, we have this web page, is mcaplatform.org, that they can get registered there, they can have access to the API. In fact, yesterday we released the first version of the technology neutral API so that they can start having a look at how the API looks like. And on June this year we will demonstrate the full client with the northbound API and how to access the devices, and they can even try online their apps in order to, they are fully MCPT compatible. This is really important. They are fully 3GPP compatible apps, so they can try, develop on top of that, and then they will be able to communicate with the other 3GPP standard applications.
Come on, man, come on. So Friday is
Happy Friday, because that's the end of the week.
So there's nothing for Thursday? Nothing for Wednesday?
Hump day.
Tuesday? Monday?
God be with you.
Doing great. How are you?
Are you busy?
Yes.
You're very busy.
Yes.
Are you cold?
Yes.
It's getting better, right? When the sun is getting higher.
The sun is out. It's good.
Oh, it's... One thing I forgot to mention actually is all of these workers, all of these people working here to make this event happen, I think it's important to put those people a little bit in the spotlight. They make our lives much more easier. That's one thing for sure. We tend to forget that sometimes. Back in the hotel room, the good thing is I can change this suit into something totally different as I'm going to St. Augustine. So in other words, just make it happen. Dress for the occasion. I'm starting to get hungry.